Hello, on Videos A you back. Another How to Play. Today we're looking at one of the latest games from 25th Century Games, Big Sur, which is this highway in California. Pretty major highway there, pretty famous one. I've never been there, never been to California in my life. Don't have any plans to go there, probably ever, for better or worse. It is known as Highway 1. The Highway 1 that I'm familiar with is the Trans-Canada here in Canada, which goes from all the way from the east coast to the west coast in Canada. And it's a pretty important highway. It's a pretty big highway. Definitely bigger than the Big Sur. Anyway, what is this game about? This game, like I said, 25th Century Games, designed by Mondo Davis, interesting name. Art by Tristram Rawson. And it just came out. I just got it from Kickstarter a while back. It is for 2 to 4 players, ages 10 up. Takes about 30 minutes. And what it is you have the opportunity to build a part of the most impressive highway in the United States. Trust me, it's not as impressive as our Highway 1. And you have to manage your resources to create a beautiful stretch of the iconic Highway 1 for Big Sur, California. Select the most memorable section of this majestic roadway to win. In the game, you get 69 of these highway cards, and you also get 20 landmark cards. However, I have some more extra landmark cards mixed in there that came with a promo expansion, whatever it was. I don't remember if they added any highway ones, but they definitely added some landmark ones. I think I have like 26 in there. And it comes with a nice score pad. It's got 2 games on each page, double-sided, plenty of paper, and you don't even really need it if you run out. You just use paper. It actually comes with a pencil and a nice wooden sign marker token. That's like the signs on the highway for the first player, which is going to be, they say the first player should be whoever was born closest to California or to the Big Sur. You can't say, like I said, I've never been there, I'm not even born anywhere near there. However, I do have distant relatives, second cousins that live out there, so I'll just use that. In the game, like I said, you got the highway cards. The cards, I'm disappointed don't have a linen finish. I don't know why they made this decision, considering a game we're going to be looking at alongside this one, Wine Cellar, actually has the linen finish on the cards and the box, and this one, not even the cards have linen finish, which is kind of disappointing. Anyways, the cards have some things to note. On the top, you have a mile marker. That's going to be points you score if you have a stretch of cards. A stretch of cards is when you have 3 cards or more that have the same symbol on them, like this is fields, there's trees, there's mountains, flowers, and there's also, if I can show you somewhere, ocean. So if you get 3 cards that are the same thing next to each other, that counts as a stretch of highway, and it lets you score these mile markers as points. So that would be worth 6 points. On the bottom, you have a cost to build this piece of highway. In this case, it would cost some lumber and some water. Some of them have 3 items that are required. A couple more things to point out. All the number 1s are only worth 1 point, but they give you an item that you can use over and over throughout the game. Every round you can use it once. This one, by the way, is engineering. And then all the 2s give you a 2-mile bonus, which is going to give you some kind of a scoring bonus for the end of the game. Like this is, score 1 point for each ocean icon in your highway. So for each icon that we have with the ocean, like this, you're going to score 1 point. So each one of the 2s all have that 2-mile bonus. All the 1s have a item you can use over and over. Like this one says, score 1 point for each field icon in the highway, etc., etc. On the bottom of the cards, also something pretty important. It tells you the player count for these cards. There's also a number if you want to put them back into order for whatever reason. But these are for 2, 3, 4 players. Off to the side here, I got the ones that are for specifically 3 or 4 players, because I'm just going to do a little 2-player game to show you. Just a little thing. Now, also in the corner here, it shows you an item. That is the resource that is on the back of the cards. So for instance, this one is stones, rocks. This one is steel, There is engineering, there's wood, and there's water. All the items you need to build a highway panel. But I'm not going to use these, so I'll put them aside. I apologize if you hear the dryer going off in the background. Anyways, we also have here these cards. These are your landscape cards. And apparently, some of them are upside down. Or no, they're not. That's just how they are. There is, again, I think there's like 26 total with the expansive ones. They have 3 symbols on the bottom. 3 trees, 3 flowers, 3 fields, 3 oceans, and there's also 3 mountains. If you complete a stretch of highway that has those symbols, you can add that, and it gives you extra bonus ones. Like this one was going to add 3 miles to the highway card below it, but you might want to add to a highway card that, you know, maybe it's only 1 mile, just to give it some more points. Anyways, that's what's on those cards. These ones you don't remove any, you just use all of them. Got some nice pictures on there of different places in the big survey. I'm guessing they're probably pretty realistic. So what you're going to do, you give this to whoever's going to be the start player. Shuffle up this deck of cards. You're going to give 2 cards to each player to start off. Put the rest in the middle of the table. You can shuffle up the landscape cards as well. And then you're going to deal out 5 cards from each deck as a depot. I guess like, oh my word, they're all pink. As I mentioned, got the rules here as well. Pretty nice rules. It shows you what comes with it. There is some variants at the end, I believe. No, I'm wrong. I'm thinking of the other game. Now on the back, there's a nice reference to what everything is. Ocean, forest, mountain, flower, field, stone, water, timber, not wood, timber, engineering, and steel. Very cool. Pretty simple game. So on your turn, you must take 2 of these highway cards. You can take 2 from the face-up pile. Let's see what I have in my hand. Okay. 2 from the face-down pile, or you can take 1 and 1. It's up to you what you do. Let me just, I'll scoot everything down just a smidge so you can see. I got lots of mountains here. And this, for the bonuses, it is what it is. So, I'm going to take 2 cards. Let's say I take these 2. You must do that. On your turn, you must always draw 2 cards, whether from here, here, or a combination of the 2. Then, optionally, you may build highway by paying a cost with the resources on the back of the cards, which I didn't even bother to look at the resources that I had, but that is okay. I'm going to build something. You don't have to, but you can. And and then thirdly, if you're able to claim a landmark by having 3 of the same icons, like for instance, if I had these 3 cards here, I could claim that landmark and add it to one of these cards for the extra points. If there was one available for that, there is not currently for the flowers. So let's just see what I got here. So these require 3 resources, which I don't have, so I can't buy that one. And this one, these ones have what are called persistent resources. You can use these once per round, every round. There's one more resource you can be able to use, which I'll explain in just a minute. This one has the 2 points, the 2 mile bonus. Score 1 point for each field icon in your highway. So the resources I got steel. I could see for the symbols on top, most of them have 2 different ones, but some of them have 2 of the same. Perhaps on the mile 1 ones. So I might want to keep that one. But not if I want to build something. Let's just say I decide not to keep the one. I'm going to spend... well, I'll spend this hard hat, the engineering, which is on the back. What you see on the corner here is what is the resource that's on the back. So I have a hard hat and water. That's what I need for this. So I'm going to put that here. And I will discard these into my own personal discard pile. Each player is going to have their own pile. And this is the other resource you can use. You can kind of choose which one you want. Um, Maybe I'll put the engineering on top. And whatever is on top of your discard pile, you can use also once per round. And then as you discard more cards, that's going to change. So we have the persistent ones you can use. You have whatever's on the back of your cards. And you have whatever's on top of your discard pile that you can use as well as a resource. So now that we've done that, I cannot claim a landmark because I don't have 3 of the same symbol. But I will replenish the market now, or the depot as it's called. Then my opponent's going to go. Then it's going to come back to me. Keep going back and forth until you've gone through this entire deck. Once you're no longer able to refill the market, that will end the game. They say they have enough cards in the game for each player to have an equal amount of turns, of drawing 2 cards and, building sections of highway. So at the end of the game, you're going to have a highway built. Let me just set something up here. Let's say I did this. Then maybe I claimed. So once you have 3 symbols of a kind, you can claim this resource, this landmark, as long as it has the same symbols. Sand dollar beats. I'm guessing it's a real beats. 1 point for each persistent material in your highway. Okay. And then maybe I added some of these. Let's just say I did this. And then we replenish. I'm just going to show you what it kind of looks like. Maybe add this. Now I have 3 waters. And you can actually have multiple things kind of overlapping depending on if the symbols are all the same. So I got a water one. Let's see if there is a water one here. There's not, so I don't get the water. There's the brakes. I'll just add a couple more cards. And when you add cards, you can add to either side. So if I want to add this flower here, I can. And then maybe I add another flower. And then I get a flower card. And you just add these above one of the cards in your highway. So then, let's just say that's the end of the game. We ran out of cards. And that's what I ended up having. Or maybe I'll just add one more for the hells of it. We'll do this. And then I'll add the tree one here. Hope you can still see that. And so that, let's just say that's how the game ends. This is my highway. You're going to score points based on a few things. You're going to score 1 point per mile in each stretch of your highway. So, for instance, this is 1 mile. This is 3 miles, so I get 4 points for that. You're also going to score points for your landmarks, depending on how many you have. So for 3 landmarks, you get 5 points. If you have 1 or 2, just 3 points. And if you have 5 or more, you get 8 points. So the more, landmarks, the more points you get. So we have on here Big Creek Bridge, D10's Big Sur Inn, and Sand Dollar Beach. So I got a few things in there. And I did not get anything else. Actually, I did. I got a water one, but there was no water one available. But let's just see if we can find one. There is. Okay, so I'll just put that one here. You put it above whichever one you want. So I have 4, we'll say. It's still 5 points. So I get 5 points for that. We get points for all the cards that are in a stretch. So 4, 5, 6, 7 for these trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the flowers. 3, 4 for the fields. And then water, we get, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to get the bonuses from these cards. This one says score 1 point for every 2 cards in your discard pile. So let's just say I had, a bunch of cards in my discard pile. So 2, so 1, 2, 3 points. rounded down because I have 7 cards in my discard pile, so I would get 3 points for this card, which again is 1 point for every 2 cards in your discard pile. So I have 7, that's 3 points. This one says, once per turn, you may use 1 persistent material from another place. Highway, there's a few of these in there. And basically, if your opponent has one of these persistent items, you can actually use it with this card once per turn. So that's a pretty powerful card. This one, score 1 point for each persistent material in your highway. For persistent materials, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 points. And this last one says, score 2 points or 5 points for this card if you also have China Lookout. I do not have the China Lookout. That was Fight for Beats, by the way. So I don't get any points for that. I do get 2 points, but if I had China Lookout, I would get 5 points. So 2 points for that one. And then we got the 2-mile bonuses. This one says score 1 point for each mountain icon in your highway. So we count up the mountain icons. We have 1, and that's it. So I would get 1 point. Wow. And then this one says score 1 point for each field icon in your highway. So we would get 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So you add everything up. Whoever has the most points wins. If there happens to be a tie, then whoever has the fewest highway cards is the winner. There's still a tie. I guess you just said a victory. It doesn't say beyond that. But it's a pretty cool game. The cards are pretty good quality. I do wish they had limited minutes. Has very nice artwork. Pretty simple, straightforward game. You're just drawing 2 cards and then using resources to put highways. You want to build stretches. You're not always going to have as many stretches as I did. But again, as you can see for this one here, I have trees here on these 3 cards, and I have the flowers, and then that's connected to. It just happened to be work out that way. But anyways, you're not always gonna get that lucky. It's pretty cool. I like it. Comment, like, subscribe. What don't you think? We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.